Good morning, everyone. My name is Srikanth Srinivas. I'll be a keynote speaker for today. My intent of keynote speaking is about how software engineering has been changed based on the coding, what we have been doing. The future, what I see is intent based software engineering. Of course, it is powered by AI agents, right? So, what is behind the coding is what we are going to talk about. Code was never a point, it was always we wanted an interface for us to do a coding, um, and that helped with the missions what we had. So if we just go back a few years, like 60 years now back, and understand how exactly the coding started. So initially in 1950s, it was all machine code. We always spoke mostly on the hardware's language, right? And in 1970s, and we updated ourselves to procedural language, basically the compiler's language. And at that point in times, he was definitely at the forefront. In 1990s, there was a concept which was introduced for object-oriented programming, and we started a platforms language. And in 2010, we moved to cloud, low code kind of languages, right? And then I see that in 2020s, now we started using the machine to write our code and create, the agents were brought in, and there's a lot of intent based or prompt based coding which was started. So intent-based software engineering, this is in unit in engineering is no longer the instruction. It is the verified intent. How exactly it goes, right? I divided into like five sections. So first is the intent. We as a human, we state what exactly the goal is, what we are trying to build, and also we specify the constraints. And then in the second part, the agent will compile our request based on the spec what we would have provided, and they generate the code for us. The agent generates the code, and we verify the system, whether the code what has been built is really good. And then if it's all good, we also try to do a code review and do a healing of that. So if you see, like step 3 to 5 are really cheap. Now it isn't cost much because in people are involved, and then we review, we generate. But the step 4 is very costly, where we have to verify and make sure everything what is built is correct or not. The applications that will prove and repair themselves is the self-generating, the self-testing, and self-healing kind of things, right? Self-generating, the app is compiled from the intent-based, and code is completely developed by the agent. Um, as a self-testing, what we do is we make sure that whatever the product has been built through our intent, whether it really created the way we wanted, it evolves becoming the source of truth, and we try to not do just an assertion and just move forward. How the self-healing works, the system always detects against the intent, and it automatically repairs. The maintenance stops being a human cost center now, instead of machine doing that. So as I said, it's not just a speculation here. Say for example, somebody is trying to deposit from his wallet, and there is a scenario which I've taken here. What is the human intent? You have to log in, deposit $50, and confirm that the balance is getting updated. So the machine checkable intent would something like this. Step one is verify the login, valid deposit, and we assert it. What the agent does is the neural grounding model maps into the real UI elements, executes a real devices, it yields and ports. Um, so generation, we think that the cost is reduced, but ideally it is not. It's increasing. The bottleneck is the agents are getting costlier, and ideally it's not the same way. So sometimes what goes wrong is we don't give the right prompts and the intents are not correct, and the agent might, yeah. So just want to move forward over here. So just to wrap up, for 60 years we always thought that humans to think like a machine. Now we get to teach machine to think like an engineer. So now we need to bring in the intent, keep the judgment, and own the proof. Now, thank you so much for